Hello everyone and welcome back to this next lecture. So in the previous lecture I had showed you how to import this GPIO IOToggle project from the example projects which we had downloaded from the Nucleo G47 web page. Now in this lecture I'm going to show you how you can download this compiled code to your microcontroller and execute it to look at the result. So again, I am still not showing you any code for the simple reason that we are not yet ready to start coding. We are just setting up our microcontroller. In the next section with GPIOs, I will start talking about registers, how to configure GPIO registers, and that is where we will look at how we can start writing code. For now, we are merely setting up our microcontroller kits and making sure that everything is working correctly. So, at this point of time, I will bring the microcontroller into the video. So you will now see the microcontroller in the video, that is the STM32G47, that is the Nucleo G474 development board. And this Nucleo G474 board will be connected to my laptop through this USB cable. So again, as I said, this USB cable must be a micro USB connector because that is the only thing that fits on onto this development board, and it has to be a data cable. So this was actually a USB cable from one of my previous mobiles, but the important thing is it is a data cable and not just a charging cable. So I'm going to connect it. Now I'm going to zoom in a little. And let me bring it into the center of the board, so you should now see it. Now, if your board is packaged directly, that is, if your board has been opened from its package for the very first time, you might see some flashing LEDs. The reason why that's not happening in my case is that there is already some code which has been running from a previous example, and that is why there is a steady LED. Now, the important thing is you must see at least some flashing LEDs or some glowing LEDs to indicate that there is a power supply on the Nucleo board and everything is powered up. So with this, I am now going to start downloading this code onto the microcontroller. So for that, let me go over to my project, or rather I will go to debug, that is this one. You can either go to run and debug, or you can click on this button, whichever you prefer. So for example, if I go to run and click on debug, this will now start downloading the compiled code to my microcontroller. So for example, there is now, this is just a basic setup file, and this you can just accept the actual default settings. If you have any specific changes you want to make and you know what you want to do, by all means change these. But for us, the default settings are good enough. I will just click OK. And now it will start downloading it onto the microcontroller. And this kind of launch is required. Yes, we have to switch to the debug perspective. I will just remember this decision. And you must check out this command line just to make sure that everything is okay, and eventually it will say that the download is complete. So the download is, actually I should have scrolled down. The download has been verified successfully, so we are now ready to execute our code. So with this, I'm going to bring the microcontroller again back into the video. And now you will see that there is a flashing LED now. This indicates that there is now an active connection between this microcontroller kit and the host computer. So with this, we are now ready to run our code, and for this, either you can go to click on run and resume, or you can click on this button, whichever you prefer, even this little shortcut button. So I'm going to go and click on run and resume, and now if you come over here, you will see that there is a flashing LED, and this flashing LED is because this microcontroller is toggling a GPIO pin, and that GPIO pin is connected to an onboard LED. But if you got these results then that means that you have a working microcontroller kit. Our kit is now ready for programming. So with this, I'm now going to end this lecture, as now we have now verified our microcontroller kit, and now we can go on to the next section where we will start programming the GPIO module. So I'm going to terminate the microcontroller video, and with this we have also reached the end of this particular lecture. So with this lecture, what we have seen is our microcontroller kit is working correctly, and we are now able to execute a compiled code. That is, this is an existing project, of course, but we have been able to compile a project, download it onto the microcontroller and execute it to view the result. If you got these results, then in that case you have managed to successfully run your first project on your Nucleo G474 development board. If this did not happen, or if you faced any other issues, please post on the Q&A forum and I'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye for now.